Morning, YouTube. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. It was long, but it was good. We got through it. Just wanted to talk a little bit this morning about getting off Suboxone motivation because it's something that's real. It's something that's hard. And I know I made some other videos this last week, addiction, how I believe it's not a disease, and a couple other ones, but I want to stick to, why I started this channel. It pretty much always, everything that we do comes down to a choice. And those choices have an impact, and it's on us to, that fan's fucking with me. It It comes down to choices we make and things we do on a daily basis. When you start the tapering process, you have to have a goal, a written goal and a clear path. Okay, at the end of the day, I'm not going to get into addiction being a disease. I'm not going to get into any of that. I'm not going to get into scientific bullshit. At the end of the day, it was your choice to start, and it's going to have to be up to you to quit. And in order to do so, you have to have a goal. You have to have goals. It doesn't matter what it is. If you want a weight loss, if you're going to the gym and you want to lose weight, you have to start with a goal. Okay, I want to lose 20 pounds in 2 months. That's roughly 2.5 pounds a week. I gotta up my water, lower my carbs, do more cardio, lift a little heavier. I have to shred this weight off of me. It's the same with your finances. If you're in a certain amount of debt, you have to pull out the calculator and you have to get down on pen and paper, that financial goal that you're trying to hit, that debt that you're trying to pay off, or that money that you want to save up. Everything starts with a goal. So you have to sit down and you have to figure it out. All right, I'm on this much Suboxone. By this month and this year, I want to be off of Suboxone. You have to have a goal in mind. You have to write it on paper. You have to put a chart on the fridge. I remember Dave Ramsey's a huge financial guru. I don't know if a lot of you guys know who Dave Ramsey is, but he helped me. His principles helped me in getting out of debt because it made so much sense. That could be a video for another day on how all that helped me. Getting off popping pills in the very beginning, when I stopped popping pills and got on Suboxone, it helped me out greatly because I was not spending 50 to 75% of my paycheck every week on pills, and then every month having to try to scrounge up money for rent. And at that time I had a car payment. This is years ago, and it was just a life filled with anguish, a life filled with tears, a lot of bad shit, a lot of bad karma was happening back then. And when I started Suboxone, yes, it did help me, especially with finances. And then I started listening to Dave Ramsey, and then I started listening to motivational speakers, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, Earl Nightingale, Tony Robbins. I mean, even you can pull up Arnold Schwarzenegger. As stupid as this might sound on YouTube, you can pull up Arnold Schwarzenegger motivational speeches, and you can just listen to what these guys have to say and their path to success. Arnold Schwarzenegger grew up in Austria, and his mom wanted him to marry a girl named Heidi and be a police officer. That's not what he wanted. He wanted to be a bodybuilder. He wanted to be an actor. And coming from a country like that, he was severely poor. They lived in a 1-bedroom house. And he made his dream so big it became a reality. But it all started with a goal. All of it. I've had acquaintances in the past who were hooked on drugs, myself included. And Some of them are off, and it all started with a written goal. It started with a chart on the fridge, and they didn't give a fuck who saw it. They just wanted to get clean, and they made a chart, and they set about the business of goal setting. And part of that is, I'm not going to show you guys my whole personal life, but I would start with something that I learned a few years ago, is you got to start with a list. I won't zoom in too close because it's kind of personal to me, but the first thing that you want to do is list 5 things that you have accomplished in your life and put those down. 5 things. And I think I got this from Target for like $4 or $5. It's just a little tiny, you can, strap the little band around the front. Sorry about that, making videos with the phone's kind of rough, but we'll get through it. So write down 5 things in your life so far. It doesn't matter if you're 20, it doesn't matter if you're 17, it doesn't matter if you're my age at 30, it doesn't matter if you're fucking 70. List 5 things. Everybody has 5 things that they've accomplished. It doesn't matter if you dropped out of high school and you got your GED, that's an accomplishment. It doesn't matter if you lost 10 pounds, that's an accomplishment. It doesn't matter if you had no money and you saved up $2,000 in a year, that's an accomplishment. It doesn't matter if you got a promotion at work, that's an accomplishment. The next thing I challenge you to do on the second page is write down, think as big as you possibly can, and write down a list of your 10-year long-term goals. From today to 10 years, just don't even think about it. Just start writing down stupid shit. Just write down your goals that you want to accomplish in the next 10 years. I want to travel Spain. I want to go to the Eiffel Tower. I want to start a business. I want to be a dog owner. I mean, the list goes on. I want to get married and have a family. I want to build wealth. I want to get out of debt. I want to get off drugs. I want to stop smoking weed. I want to stop smoking cigarettes. You have to get your mind, instead of sitting there and hoping and wishing, you have to start doing. And what these goals do is they make you feel accountable. Once you start writing stuff down, it's in your mind, you have to stick to it. Because if you don't, you let yourself down. That's how goals work. And you might not accomplish any of it, but what you're doing is you're opening your mind up, and you actually, once you start doing that, is you start feeling good. And have a little goal set right there for the mornings. Okay, I'm used to waking up at 8 o'clock. For 1 month, I'm going to start getting up at 7. Okay, then the next month after that, I'm going to start getting up at 6, and I'm going to have coffee, and I'm going to stretch, and I'm going to listen to some music, or I'm going to read, or I'm going to do some internet research on, how to get out of debt, and how to build a budget, and how to live a good life. In order to get during the process of getting clean, if you do these kinds of things, I'm actually reading a book right now. It's called The 8th Habit From Effectiveness to Greatness by Stephen Covey. He was the one that wrote, I have it right over here on my bookshelf. It's a great book, and I suggest anybody read it. It's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Great book. And when you start doing these things in your life, when you start having a written plan for your money, when you start goal setting, when you decide to get off of Suboxone and start tapering, some of the pages are folded, but when you start putting your finances every single month on paper, something in your brain changes and you start to automatically feel successful. It fucking works, I'm telling you. It works. And I just, I'm here for you. As stupid as this video might be to some, these are some of the things that helped me. And I will do them till the day I die. And I'm telling you, goal set, taper, let's get it, people. Peace. Happy Saturday.